Alright, so I think we're set up. What are we talking about today?
Makeup on a budget for your headshots.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is mainly going to be you, right?
Yeah, but you know, guys get their makeup done for headshots too. So, I mean, you got in your head.
That's true, I've done that.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's just do the intro here in a minute. I need to sit down for a second, though.
Okay. I'll just, you know, get you ready
Whoa,
for your makeup.
whoa.
I'm just putting a little bit on you. I'm not going full face. Like, again, you even said you did makeup for your headshots.
Fine, but I don't want anybody seeing this.
Okay.
Just make me look pretty.
Yeah, I will do.
Alright. Cool. So, how do I look?
Yeah. I mean, you know, just put a little bit of color on you, so.
Okay. Cool. So should I hit record?
Oh, it's already recording.
What?
Oh, it was really funny. Oh, okay.
Hey guys,
hey
welcome
guys.
to the video. I don't know what just happened, but yeah. Anyway, so you can probably tell from that. What are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about buying your makeup on a budget for headshots.
Yay.
Yeah.
And that's all you, because I have done some makeup things, but only very small.
Yeah.
I've done like theater shows and stuff, so it is good for stage makeup. But other than that,
and even for headshots, some guys do get their makeup done.
Yes.
Obviously, it's not as much as, you know, us ladies would do it, but you get still a little bit done.
Yeah, if you're a guy, you can get some value out of it. But, you know, she knows way more about it than me. So. But anyway, before we get to that, we have some exciting news.
Yeah.
You want to share it with the people?
Well, I mean, I feel like I could just show them. Like, I don't even feel like I have to say anything, but...
Oh my gosh!
Wait, can you see it? Can you see
It's still blurry, but there you go.
There we go. Wait. Oh my
gosh! You gotta show them sparkle.
Yeah, oh yeah, this thing sparkles like crazy. Like, oh my god. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
if you can't tell by now,
excited.
yes, we are now very happily engaged. Hey. Yes, we went to, we're actually going to talk about this in an upcoming video. So
yes, we are.
So we actually went to Vegas and had a great time and got engaged. And in the next video, I'm going to explain to you how financially you can do great things like that and not have to spend too much. So.
And it was very, like, it literally felt like I was dreaming. Like I was in a fairy tale. So, you know, like, if you can do all that on a budget, like.
Yeah. But main point being, we are now engaged. We're fiance and fiance. We figured that out. So
yes, technically a woman who is engaged is a fiance with 2 E's. Yeah, we found that out the other day.
Yeah. So we're learning. We're learning little by little. But anyway, we're excited, and thank you for anybody who commented.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Anybody who sent messages or anything, we really, really appreciate it, and definitely one of the best days of our lives. So.
Yeah. Oh, the best day of my life, not one of the.
But yeah, anyway, we'll probably talk about that a lot more in the upcoming video.
Sure.
So for now, we will get to the video.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. This is gonna be a little tough because I'm not one who's a huge fan of my skin. So the fact that I'm barefaced here on YouTube is a fun experience. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by showing you guys how I prep my face before actually putting on the makeup, because they always say you're supposed to prep your face beforehand. So normally you're supposed to cleanse and put on some sort of cream on your face beforehand, which I already did. I also like to use a toner that's sort of like a cream, so I use this e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Face Primer. It's $10 at Target, which is really not bad. And of course this one's kind of fun because it's a green color, so I always joke with Kevin that I'm putting like an avocado mask on, which is kind of hilarious. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put on my color corrector, which you guys know I always have my notes on the side. So I'm going to put this Pro Conceal, the green color. And what this is usually used for is for when you have like any red spots, especially for me, like sometimes I have breakouts. It'll be used to cover that, so that way you know you can look your best possible self on when you have your headshots. So this is $4.99, which we love. I'm gonna have a camera, or not a camera, a mirror on the side here. I know, I look crazy right now. And then I'm going to use my blender and I'm going to just blend all that in until I'm not, you know, as green or red anymore. Now for me, like, I'm going to be doing this based off of sort of what I've learned at AMDA, the makeup class that I took, and what I've seen other people do for their headshots makeup. Because I feel like not what everyone says works for everybody. So I'm going to do this according to what works best for me. And then hopefully it'll help you guys out when you get your next headshots done. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go with a little bit of concealer, which I normally use if, like say I look tired and my eyes look a little dark for the day, that I'm going to get my headshots done. I'll put this like over and under my eyes so you can see that little, there you go. So this is NYX Professional Makeup Concealer. It's $5.99. And this I find also helpful, like say if I use the color corrector and it doesn't really take away all of the redness that I have, I'll put this over it to further cover that, which is always nice. Okay, now I'm starting to not look so tired, on top of not being so red. And I will say, like, for these products, like, I didn't want to go, you know, like, super expensive, like getting all of my makeup from the MAC store from Sephora, because it can be really expensive. And I actually did the math from all the products that I got, even though some of these were like I got with a gift card or they were gifted to me or I've just had them for a very long time, I would have easily spent anywhere from like 20 to maybe even 50 or more dollars had I gone and got everything brand new at Sephora. So I will say it's nice buying things at Target because you can get brand name stuff and stuff that's actually decent for not a bad price. So I definitely did this on a budget. Okay, so next I am going to put on, actually I'm going to put a little bit of lip balm on because my lips are kind of dry. I had this lip balm here, probably a dollar store buy. And usually when I put on my toner, I like to put on a little bit of lip balm, maybe like a more like actual lip balm than this one. It's kind of like, has a bit of a tint and shimmer to it. But I usually like to do those at the same time because, you know, it's just good to moisturize your face and all parts of your face. Okay, so next I'm going to put on my foundation. This is the e.l.f. Vanilla color. I know for me, it's always really, really hard to figure out what my true foundation color is. I've had many times when I've gone too dark or too light, but this is $6, which is really good because this is a really good makeup. I tend to be very picky when it comes to my foundation because sometimes I feel like something doesn't cover enough or it covers too much and I look like I just threw on a bunch of makeup on my face, or I look fake sometimes, which you don't want to look for your headshots. So for this, like, even though yes it does kind of cost a lot, I usually, as much as I love makeup, I don't do my makeup every single day, especially if I'm not going out. So I'll normally just use this for if I'm filming something, like right now. I'll usually do this for when I'm filming YouTube videos with Kevin or if I have an audition. But if I'm just like home, I don't put it on. Definitely not this much. So this, if you really use it when you need to and no more than that, it'll last you a long time and it's definitely worth the price, at least to me in that case. And I will say, like, in terms of how you apply your foundation, I kind of like dabbing it on with a sponge because anytime I've used like my fingers or if I've used a brush, like it just doesn't have the same effect to me. Like sometimes it just looks funny on my face. So I prefer to do the dabbing with a sponge. And that being said, like I also like the foam sponges. I don't like the silicone ones because that just doesn't work for me. But of course, whatever works for you is what I would say to go for. Just making sure we have a nice even coverage here, and also make sure you get just below the chin because you don't want your face to be one color and then the rest of your body to be a different color. Which is another good way to make sure you're getting the right color. Make sure you match to your neck and chest because that'll definitely help. Because if you just go with whatever color you think your face is, it's not going to work out all that well. Okay. So now I'm going to put on a setting powder. I usually do setting powder and setting spray just to make sure, you know, everything stays where it needs to be, because I've had a lot of instances and where I don't put on any sort of setting anything, or I only put on one thing and my makeup still gets all over the place and it's just not cute. So okay, so I have this setting powder. I actually got this for like $3 to $5 at Five Below. If you're in the Northeast, you probably know what Five Below is. If not, don't worry about it. You can just get whatever setting powder either works for you or is cheap, however you decide to buy your beauty products. And as long as you get something, you should be fine. Just make sure you don't put on excess, because there have been times I've put on too much and I look literally like a clown. So we don't want to do that. I will show you guys how to layer on it. Like say if I'm going for multiple looks and the first look I'm going for is the girl next door. You want to start with something that requires the least amount of makeup, and then you want to build on top of that as you go for your look. So I'm going to start with like the very natural, plain girl next door, and then I'll build up to like the mean girl, which is like a little bit darker, or the glamorous look, which, you know, usually has a red lip or more eyeshadow and stuff like that. Okay, so next we are gonna put on, we're gonna do the blush. So I have this e.l.f. Always Rosy blush. Of course you can see Kevin's background on his computer and that in the reflection. But this was another $6 at Target. Very good. And then I also got this very fluffy brush, this blush brush, also from Target. I don't know if you can see the number on there. But this was $8.89. This was probably honestly one of the most expensive things I got. I will say, when testing out your brushes to see what you like to use, I usually like to use the really fluffy brushes because to me they just apply a lot better. Like if you get a brush that's a lot more coarse, I feel like it just doesn't do its job properly. So I just like the super fluffy ones. But so, okay, with my blush, I'm going to go right on or under the cheekbone. I've been told personally that if you go right on top of or above the cheekbone, it can make you look a little old. So I usually like to go a little under. Also, what I was told in makeup class, you bring it a little up to your temples and then drag it down from your cheeks. I will say another trick from, you know, being in musical theater. Anytime you're on camera or on stage, you want to use a little bit more, because otherwise it just won't show up on camera. So if you really want your makeup to show up, make sure you put it just a little bit more than you normally would. Another thing I would say, or that I've also been taught in makeup class, is when you're putting on blush, put a little bit on your chin, a little bit on your nose, and a little bit on your forehead. This way, it doesn't make you look super pale or one-toned. It gives a bunch of more dimensions to your face, kind of like contouring would. And that way, you know, you don't look like you've been inside for 9 months like COVID has made us be for the past few months or all of 2020. So this way you look a little bit more, you know, natural. You look like a person, which we want. And yeah. Okay. So next I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So this is actually a really old palette that I have, so I'm not going to show it to you guys because it looks a little bit of a mess. But, so I'm going to do, again, what I've been taught. And here I have another brush. This one I bought from Forever 21. This is a blending brush. I don't know if you can see it. Ah, there we go. ish. Okay. You get the point. This one was like $15 or $16, but I bought it with a gift card, so I really didn't have to pay anything for it, which is super nice. But to start, you're going to use a color that's as close to your skin color as possible, so that way you can have it for a base. So I'm going to put that on the middle of my lid. And just rub it all around. Now normally, when I don't really care or I'm not going anywhere special or for an audition or anything, usually I'll do this with my fingers because I actually like applying my makeup with my fingers, at least my eyeshadow. So I think it's really simple and really easy. But I think when going for your headshots, it's always better to use a brush because then it just looks better on camera. Okay, so then I'm gonna go with a lighter color for a highlight and just brush under my eyebrows. So it sort of highlights that part of my lids. Just a little bit, you don't need a ton. I would also say when using like any sort of highlighter, and also in the corner of my eyes, but when using any sort of highlighter, stay away from anything that's really shimmery. Because that's another thing that just doesn't look all that great on camera, and especially if you want to go for a more natural look, it's just not going to look good. Okay, then we also want to go for a slightly darker color. Now this, obviously, you don't want to use too much of for our girl next door. And then I'll blend that out. I think I used a little bit too much. I'm just going to make sure I blend it a lot. But I'm going to do it around the corners of my lid on the outside. And I want it to seem like almost seamless. Like I don't even want to be able to tell that I have more than one different color on my lid. It's more, again, to give a little bit more dimension to the face so you don't look like, you know, you're dying or anything, or you're like super tired. Yeah, I definitely used a little too much of the dark brown, but it's okay. If anything, again, it'll just be there for you guys to be able to see it. So yeah, so normally I wouldn't put this much brown, and sometimes, again, this is where it's nice to use your fingers. You can just rub a little bit off if you've used too much. And obviously you want to be gentle, you don't want to hurt your eyes as you're doing that. I'm going to rub a little bit off. Okay. And then I'm going to do just a tad bit of mascara. And with this, so I have the Maybelline's Great Lash makeup or mascara. I love this because it's waterproof, and you know, being an actor, you don't know when you're going to get asked to cry, so it's always nice to have waterproof makeup. And this was $4.79. So from that you can see the most expensive thing I got, and I got it with a gift card, was $15. So, you know, smart shopping here, people. But what I will say when you're using your mascara, so see how this is like a relatively bigger brush that you're using for your lashes. So because that's so big, I wouldn't use it on both of your lashes. I would just use it on your top lashes, because when you use a big brush on your bottom lashes, it tends to smudge a lot, and then it takes a lot of work, and you remove a lot of makeup when trying to take it off. Also, what I would say with your mascara, make sure you scrub any excess off, because especially if I'm going for the girl next door look, which is very natural, if I just drag it on my eyelashes from taking it out of the bottle, it's gonna look very clumpy, and it's sort of gonna give the illusion of me wearing like fake lashes. And I would say for headshots, stay away from the fake lashes, because you want the headshots to look as close to you normally look as possible. And I just don't like clumpy lashes, me personally. So I would say when you're putting on mascara, make sure you scrape off any excess that you have. As much as I love makeup, I'm a big believer in it's should be to enhance what you already have. You don't need it to add pounds and pounds of makeup. I like to just, you know, have it so that way it, you know, better shows my features. And yeah. So, okay, so for this, I would say this is the girl next door look that I would want. You know, I have a little bit of lip balm on. It's not super shiny. It has my lips moisturized. It has a little bit of color in there. And I've done really basic makeup with my eyeshadow. I have a little bit of lash on for mascara. I have a little bit of blush going. I don't look like I'm dead or dying. You know, my face looks clean. It looks smooth. And that's sort of what you want. So say I'm also going for the mean girl look. So here I have another brush, but as you can see, it's like a flat brush. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go in my makeup palette, and I'm going to go for either dark brown or a black. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get a tiny bit of it on the very end of my brush, and then I'm going to go under my eye. To give it a little bit of like a darker, smokier look. So if you look at the difference in this eye and then the other eye, it adds just another little element, makes it look a little bit darker, and it gives you a little bit more of that like fierce, like don't mess with me look for the mean girl. Once again, I put a little bit too much. I'm going to be using my fingers a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do that, right? So now my eyes look just a little bit darker. And then if you want, you could add just a little bit of more darker eyeshadow to your lids. Also, what I would do is I would put on a darker lip. Not tremendously dark, but just a little bit darker for the lip if you're doing a mean girl look. And maybe, you know, if you have the time or if your photographer lets you change your hair, I know that's what I did. Super happy that my photographer let me do that because I think it really added to the look even more so. And then if you're going to do like a glamour look like I did, I definitely recommend having a red lip, especially in the theater world. That's very big for like dancers and theater goers, like to have a red lip for any character like that. So this was also another dollar store buy, I'm sure. I've had this for a while. Now, this specific kind of lip I wouldn't recommend just because it is a little shimmery, and again, they say to stay away from any shimmer.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and by our lovely Eliza Vargas.
Yeah, I'm sorry it was a bit late. You know, we were a little busy last week, so, you know, couldn't get in a video at our usual time. But, you know, we're back. We're here. We got you.
Make sure you like and subscribe below to the video if you liked it. Ask us any questions, anything. So just let us know. We're here for you. And we have one last little treat for you guys, which is actually us eating a big treat.
Yes, for all my chocolate fanatics out there like me, I think you're really going to enjoy this video. So go check it out. Bye. We're going to take a big bite at the same time, okay?
Okay. The world's largest Hershey bar.
Yep.
5 pounds.
Yes.
Ready?
Okay.
God, that thing is so thick.
Holy crap. That was big and thick.
Yay.
That's all I wanted.